Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Straight Shoot, everyone. Today, we're talking about one of the fastest rising stars in SmackDown history. His name is L.A. Knight. I'm Con, that's Teshk. Let's talk about what's next for this man after the loss to Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. Now, I'm going to start things off right here because I thought Roman Reigns versus LA Knight was one of the better matches on Crown Jewel. It was enjoyable from start to finish. The crowd was into it. And in my opinion, LA Knight did everything he needed to do in that matchup. He didn't look out of place. What do you think?
LA Knight consistently does this in every single feud he's been in. We can go back to the Bray Wyatt feud that he had, where Bray Wyatt was supposed to be the guy to come out of that feud looking untouchable, and it was complete opposite. LA Knight was the one that came out of that feud as the golden goose.
As the megastar. He evolved into the megastar from the Bray Wyatt feud for sure.
Exactly. And in the same thing with this, LA Knight went into this feud with Roman. You know, he sat at the head of the table. He didn't acknowledge the tribal chief during the entrance. He cooked on the mic saying, you know what, if you beat me, it doesn't matter because I'm coming back. You're not going to get rid of me. So at the end of the day, LA Knight is just adding to his stock. If this is the NASDAQ and this is the New York Stock Exchange, I'm throwing my money in on LA Knight right now. I'm invested.
Dude, I'm risking it.
I'm
risking it. I'm putting all in. We're taking a second mortgage out on the house. We're going all in on LA.
Exactly. So when it comes to LA Knight,
don't do that though, kids.
yeah, save your money. No, when it comes to LA Knight though, there's nothing wrong with losing to Roman Reigns. If anything, losing to Roman Reigns shows that you are supposed to be there.
Yes.
And
yes, I agree with you 100%. There was a lot of people who were talking about LA Knight, how if he didn't win this thing, that this would be the height of his popularity. I disagree with that big time. Roman Reigns versus LA Knight just made LA Knight more popular, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It got him over it, and it answered a lot of questions that we had with LA Knight. Can he hang with the best in the business right now? Can he work a main event style matchup? Will the fans be interested in a 30-minute LA Knight match? The answer is yeah, they are. They love him. LA Knight is as over gets. So the question becomes, where does LA Knight go now? Because he's reached basically the height that he can right now on SmackDown, and he's probably going to have to drop back down a little bit from Roman Reigns, whether that be towards a mid-card title or whether that be a switch over to Monday Night Raw and potentially towards the world title. Where do you think the best direction is for him, man?
I think WWE needs to be very careful right now, because with Roman going away, with Logan Paul being the U.S. champion, ending 2023, there's a concern that there's not enough titles on SmackDown.
Yes.
Luckily, there is only one premium live event left for the rest of the year. So we don't need to really build something massive. It's a 2-month build to the Rumble. So I think what we have to do with LA Knight is make him look strong going into the Rumble.
Oh, agree 100%, man.
That's not a step down. And anyone who says, "Oh, what are you talking about? He should be going against Logan Paul for the United States Championship." No. Nah. What you need to do now is build it to a point where LA Knight says, "You know what? I know how I get back to the top. I know how I become the megastar again. I'm going in at Royal Rumble in the #1 spot, and I'm going to win it."
Oh, I love that for LA Knight. The #1 spot.
You do
show that he can be a workhorse as well. Oh, I love that. I didn't even think about that, dude. That's actually the perfect place for LA Knight, because then you get the entrance, you get the crowd going behind him the entire way. Yep. Yeah, man. And then whoever, because I don't think he's going to win the Rumble this year. He's certainly in the running for it.
Of course he is.
But I don't think he's going to be the winner of the Rumble. Whoever eliminates him could very well be the Mania match. And let's just say right here, people are saying, what about LA Knight versus Logan Paul? Is that a match you want to see? That could be a way to get it at WrestleMania if Logan Paul eliminated LA Knight in the Royal Rumble.
Imagine the heat. Imagine
the heat would be wonderful.
Imagine the heat of a part-time YouTuber eliminating the megastar. Like, think about it though. Logan Paul, guys, as whoever's watching this, if you're live, if you're watching this on the video on YouTube, imagine if you want super uber heat on somebody. You make him a champion, you make him a part-timer, and he eliminates the guy that you believe should be the new world champion.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's some uber heat.
That is literally Elias heat when he talked about the basketball team and they booed him for 3 minutes straight. That is like stuff we don't talk about heat. That's how hot that would be. And all you would need, no disrespect to Logan Paul, because he's phenomenal in the ring. And I think Eric Bischoff came out and said the other day that it's crazy that Logan Paul can do what he can do. He basically saved Rey Mysterio's life.
Yeah.
Crown
Oh
jewel.
my God.
And I don't want to go down another path, but he basically saved Rey Mysterio's life. His timing was perfect. He did everything perfect in that match. But imagine LA Knight just says, nah, I'm the megastar. I'm going to come in. I'm going to beat you in under 5 minutes. Boom.
Yeah. That would be so good. I mean, I think that's a WrestleMania moment.
Yep.
And Logan Paul can afford a loss. Like, he can afford to lose the championship. Like, we've seen him bounce back from a loss from Roman Reigns. Speaking of which, LA Knight can bounce back from a loss to Roman Reigns because Logan Paul can bounce back to a loss from Roman Reigns. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
But that type of scenario where LA Knight is buried because he lost to Roman Reigns doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. People are still behind LA Knight. So I love that idea, man. Entering number 1 at the Royal Rumble, getting potentially eliminated by Logan Paul, going on to WrestleMania to face Logan Paul for the US title and taking the title from him would be a Mania moment, no doubt. Let's say though he maybe does win the Royal Rumble because he is in conversation for it. You know, could WrestleMania be the moment for LA Knight? Could we finally see him reach the mountaintop as world heavyweight champion?
Yes, it's not Roman. It is the world title. I personally, guys, I'm just going to say this. I don't think Seth is world champion at Mania. I'm just saying that for now. I'm thinking Seth drops.
Sorry, I know this is going to be off on a tangent. Does he lose it before Mania or at Mania?
That's a whole nother episode, but I'm going to say Seth loses before Mania. I think Seth loses at the Rumble.
We'll get into another episode then with that. We'll talk about Seth Rollins and his world title run towards Mania then at some point. But yeah, so LA Knight could be the guy at Royal Rumble to go on to Mania, world title potentially. But regardless, this conversation around LA Knight about is he buried, is he not, is he worse off? No, he's not. He's better off. It's just as simple as that. A big main event match against Roman Reigns, and he came out looking like $1 million. Nothing wrong with it.
I think that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing that we have to deal with as wrestling fans is the atrocious takes that we get. Con, I don't know. I've never seen your DMs, but I've seen mine. I've seen my Twitter feed. I've seen my Instagram. And just some of the takes and some of the comments of, LA Knight's done and buried. Cody's never going to finish the story. All this stuff. And you sit there and you're like, guys, it's like a fine wine. Okay. LA Knight is a fine wine. And what do you do with a fine wine? You pop the cork.
You chug it.
Jesus Christ. All right. I don't know what kind of wine you've been drinking, that $11 LCBO rack basket wine. But no, with a fine wine, you pop that cork and you let it breathe. Let it breathe. You take that first little tester. That first little tester was Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. Now let it breathe and let it build. Let it run its course. Enjoy it in the moment. Don't fantasy book the negative out of everything. Just enjoy it. Enjoy LA Knight. Yeah.
He's got legs like wine. I don't know. I'm not a wine drinker, so we're going to blow past that and we're going to move to the end of the episode right here. So let's just end it there. All right.
Oh,
guys,
God.
thanks so much for watching. Make sure you leave a comment down below letting us know your thoughts on LA Knight. Is he dead and done? Or do you think he's got a lot more in the tank? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching Straight Shoot.
Later.